Hi, this is David Ingram.
Hi, this is Peter, and we are Benediction.
And you're listening to the only radio show that our tour bus picks up. What's Metal?
Okay, we start with the usual stuff. How is the tour going so far? Any highlights you can show up with?
The tour has been the craziest tour I've been on. I've never drunk so much in my life. I've never partied so much in my life with the bands. Everybody's really up for a killer party, but also the actual concerts have been really cool also. A lot of people have showed up, which for us is really cool. A lot of people saying death metal's dying out, but most of the concerts have been sold out, so things are looking good.
Last time you were a support act from Death, I remember, 95, and I wonder what do you prefer, a support of a bigger band or maybe a headliner tour where you have more playing time?
Personally, it doesn't bother me. When we were a main support act, like we were with Death, then we got more time to go out and get drunk and hang out in the crowd. Being the headliners, you have to sort of sit backstage. We don't have to sit backstage, but you have to prepare yourself for the gig and get ready, and there's things to do with the guitars, etc. And then when you finish the gig, you come and you relax for 10 minutes, and then by the time you go out, everyone's gone, so you can't really go out and party with them, so you have to take the party onto the bus. But to me, as I say, it makes no difference. I'm happy, headlining or supporting. So.
How's the reaction on the new material so far?
It's on this tour, we're really promoting the new album. So half of our set, is the new album. We know a lot of people haven't heard it, but we really like it and we enjoy playing it. So in a way, we're being a little bit selfish, playing our new material, but it's what we want people to hear from us, It's been going down quite well for people. A lot of the people haven't heard the new material, and they seem to be really into it, which is really cool for us. In a way, I think we should maybe play some more old stuff. A lot of people on the tour have been asking us to play old songs, but Benediction have moved on. It's time to, you have to always move on and play new material. So it's been pretty cool though. We had some good reactions from the new material.
Yeah, we really don't want to be known as the band that play Subconscious Terror, Because, we do play that song live, but we don't want people just to think, Benediction, oh yeah, Subconscious Terror. We have got other material, we got, a lot of new tracks that we're very happy with, and our bass player just walked in the room and told me to feck off. And he's cut his hair, he looks like a right girl now. And, so, like for this tour, this is like 7 new tracks we're doing?
6 or
7. 6 or 7. We have no memory of the songs when we come off stage. So. But we're enjoying it. The crowd, the reactions, as Rue says, the reactions are, really killer. You can't believe it.
Until 95, there was a Benediction release every year, I think, and now there was a delay for 3 years. What caused this? Maybe The Dreams You Dread?
Well, after we did Dreams You Dread, which I personally think is a really good album, before anybody says anything, I like that album. But when we did Dreams You Dread, we did a lot of touring. We did the Nuclear Blast festivals in '95 with Hypocrisy and other bands, Then we did a tour with Death, Then we did some more gigs on our own, and we did some festivals, And that took up nearly a year, So we did like a year's touring from Dreams You Dread, And then we thought, what do we do now? And we all sort of like took a step backwards and thought about what the band was playing, where we was going, and we just really, really took our time writing this new album. And we're really chuffed we're out here now playing it to people. It's basically all we did was really took our time. In the past, Benediction have always like tour, album, but this time we thought, hold on a bit, we're all getting on a bit now. Benediction have been together 10 years, So really, we just had to think about what we was doing, and that's the new album, and that's why we're here playing it now.
Maybe you can tell me why I don't like The Dreams You Dread as much as I like Grind Bastards?
I don't know why. I don't think with Dreams You Dread we took a step forwards with the music. I think we took a step sideways. We tried the same style, but coming at the same style from a slightly different angle, and I think people were a little taken aback, maybe not so much shocked, but sort of surprised at the simplicity of the way the songs were structured. So I think that may have part to do with it, and also the mix. We tried a different production mix, same studio, same producer, but a different way of mixing the actual music. And I think that was why people were expecting yet another album that sounded like Transcend the Rubicon, and we didn't want to do that ourselves. We didn't want to make it an album. You know, we don't want to be like bands like AC/DC. They're a killer band, but they seem to regurgitate the same riffs on every fucking album. So we didn't want to do that, and we didn't want the same sound and entirely the same production. So we changed it a little bit, and we're all happy with it. I mean, I'm still fucking proud of that album. So
yeah, nothing wrong with Dreams of Dread.
Absolutely.
For me, it shocked me a little bit because a lot of people saying, "Oh, we don't like this album," and I couldn't understand it. You know, that's another reason why we took a step back and thought, oh, why? So like, you know, this album, it's like Benediction and back. You know, back to even the score. It's one of the first lines
From the song Grind Bastard.
from Grind Bastard, the title track, which is sort of a Benediction anthem. It's sort of like the new album. It's like it's back, Benediction and back. You know, we're trying to make a statement. Yeah.
I think the biggest progression was made by your drummer. Maybe, for example, West of Hell was a very drum-oriented song. This made an effect on the other musicians, maybe?
Well, I think every member of the band, yeah, when we did this album, yeah, everybody was on top form. All the members of the band, you know, really got our shit together. We played the songs for a long time before we recorded them. Every single member of the band did an excellent job on the new album. And, you know, I'm really proud to be in the band, to be part of it. The drummer, he's just killer drummer, you know. He's always trying different ideas. And basically that's what it's all about. We always try and do something a little bit different. Like on the new album, you know, there might be a few more punk influences there, but we're all into that sort of music, but I think it mixes well with the old style Benediction, which is also on the album. I think on this album we managed to mix it together really well.
Neil is not here at the moment, but maybe you can tell me something about his side project?
Well, actually, Rue knows more about that than me.
Well, you know, he's a young kid and he's really into his music, and he's in a couple of bands. He's in a band called Akbar, like sort of hardcore band. They're pretty cool, pretty aggressive. Sound a bit like Korn, you know. He used to be in Warlord, yeah. Dave did some singing on the Warlord album. But you know, he's a young guy. He's really into his music. It's his life, you know. He drums all the time. You know, he does rehearsals with Benediction, and he says, "Oh, I've got to go to a gig, so yeah." And he's off to do a gig with his other band. He just really loves it. He's really into it, big time, which is really cool. You know, he's a lot younger than us, but you know.
22 now.
22, yeah. That's the thing in the band. The age range is, you know, crazy.
Neil is the youngest in the band at 22, and the next youngest is me, and I'm 29. And I mean, like, you're 30. Rue's 30 now. I think Darren's 29 and he's 30 soon. And Frank, who's no, he's 35. Well, I think he's 36. I'm not sure, but he's aging well. Let's just say that.
He can still party with the rest of them.
Oh yeah, he can. He can.
Okay. By the way, what is Ian Treacy doing at the moment?
Oh, we
haven't got a clue.
Couldn't give a fuck.
We don't see him. Last time I saw him, yeah, I was waiting for a buzz, yeah, and he seen me and I seen him, and he was like, didn't even speak. We don't speak no more. It pisses me off a bit, but for me, he was a bit of a wanker. Yeah, there's no better way of saying it.
You make a lot of covers, and I wonder if the covers are maybe a tribute to your idols or influences?
Well, yeah, I mean, what have we done now? Return to the Eve by Celtic Frost. They're an influential band on Benediction from the start, and on all of us as individuals as well. Anvil, we did Forged in Fire by them. That was also another influential band on us all. Wrong Side of the Grave by The Accused. As we said earlier, we're all punk fans. We've done another punk cover, Anti-Nowhere League. We Are the League, for the Anti-Nowhere League tribute album. we were asked to do a Doors cover version, and we did Riders on the Storm, which was fucking abysmal. That was for a Doors tribute album that was never released, so it got released on some, was it Death Is 4 or something like that, yeah. And on the new album, we couldn't decide which of the cover versions we wanted to do, so we chose two, and we did Under the Blade, we did Destroyer by Twisted Sister. We were going to do Under the Blade, but we didn't do it in the end, because Darren couldn't play it, and blame him, he's not here. And Electric Eye by Judas Priest, the gods of metal. And I'd just like to point out to everybody listening that the new singer from Judas Priest rang me up last week because he's my mate.
Okay, talking about your lyrics, in the past your lyrics always had a personal background. For example, Grief Giver, no? It's dealing about your ex-wife maybe. What does, for example, We the Freed and I have for a background?
Okay.
What does freed mean, by the way? I couldn't find it in the dictionary. Freed.
Freed, as in being released, let go, like you've been freed from prison. So. Let's see. That's all about how people have two faces, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, and you make the wrong decision, and you know it's the wrong decision, but you still do it. And like last night, for example, and I won't go into that.
Tell them about Wheel of Fruit.
I will, and there's a chance. And it's just all about the ill judgments in all of us, and we do stuff we know it's wrong, but we still do it anyway. And like drinking too much beer and stuff like that. Well, it's not wrong; it's just it's bad for you. And We the Freed. Well, it's just a song about the injustice in the world today. How things aren't quite as legal as they should be. And if you look at the title and if you can work it out, then you'll know what the song's about.
There's a big message in that song.
Yeah, there is a huge message in that song.
Big message, but we're not telling people
No.
to work it out for themselves. Yeah, it's one for everybody to work out. We're the Freed. For the band, it's a real special song. Big message, but you've got to work it out for yourselves. We're not telling you. You look at the lyrics and work it out.
Okay, talking about the title, is it maybe a hint of what the listener can expect when he sees Benediction cover album?
Well, you mean the song the album title Grind Bastard, yeah? Well, somebody said to me, how come you called it Grind Bastard when there's no grind music on there, there's no blast beats? It's not, well, grind doesn't necessarily mean blast beats. It can mean hard work, something that was really a struggle for you. And the album wasn't a struggle to write, but it also just shows the aggression in the music. And it's like, it just describes the album overall. I mean, the lyrics to Grind Bastard I had like 10 years ago in my old band. And I've just sort of kept them locked away. I was going to bring them out in '93 for the Transcend the Rubicon album, but didn't do it. And that was, well, there was some reason or other, I can't remember why. But no, it just sort of depicts the whole aggression and the force of the album and the hard work we put into it.
Okay, Nuclear Blast nowadays mainly concentrates on, let me say, modern metal styles. And are you, as defenders of the traditional style, still satisfied with their promotion?
Yeah. Well, I'm satisfied with it. But they could do more. Every band's going to say, that their label could do more for them and not for the other bands. But that's how it always is. Rue?
Well, if you look at Nuclear Blast, yeah, when we first started with Nuclear Blast, like 10 years ago, yeah, the guy who used to run it from his bedroom, yeah, with a friend, and now he's got a big office and over 30 people work for him. The label is doing a pretty good job. Bands are never happy with the record label. They always want to slag them off, yeah, but there's no point. They're trying the best they can for the bands. They're always pretty fair with all the bands. For me, Nuclear Blast are okay.
What do you think then about his re-releases that Nuclear Blast sell, the old stuff?
Well, back in early 96, it was February 96, Marcus came and showed us the cover layout for the Subconscious Terror and Dark as the Season Digipack. And we said, yeah, great. When it comes out, send us some. And I think it was like 18 months went by and we never heard any more of it. And then we came and did one show in Holland, and some guy walked up with the digipack for us to sign, and another digipack, which was the Grand Leveler and Grotesque Ash and Epitaph EP. And we're like, you know, what the fuck's going on? You know, Nuclear Blast haven't sent them to us. And as soon as we got back home, I was straight on the phone to them, and I gave them a right rake of fucks, saying, come on, we want these fucking CDs now. And they wrote and apologised and sent us them for free. So yeah, they were cool about it, but you know, we just wished that they'd remember us. But it's cool because you know, people can now go out and get some of the older stuff, and instead of having to buy like 2 albums, then go out and buy just the one, and they're both on there, which is, you know, good news.
Okay, are there any new bands that made a big impression on you, and can you tell why?
Well, as far as music goes, yeah, all the bands really into diverse sort of music, yeah. You know, I try and keep up with the new metal music and try and keep up the best I can, yeah, because Nuclear Blast send us CDs. But we all listen to different sort of stuff, you know, it depends what mood you're in when you're home, yeah. You know, you might come back from work and you want to sit down and relax, you can't put like black metal or death metal on really loud, you know, you want something quieter, you know, something like The Verve, something like that. But new stuff, there's a lot of power metal happening at the moment. There's a lot of bands, some of it's good, some not so good. There's a band called Pegasus, they're coming out soon. I think you should check them out, from Australia, and they're serious power metal. You know, I'm quite into that. Bands like Hammerfall also, they're
fucking nice.
Yeah, they are. But it's the music we were listening to like 10, 15 years ago. That's the music we grew up on.
Yeah.
All the bands are starting to sound like that. For us, it's like a little bit crazy. We can't understand it.
It's absolute heaven.
Yeah, we're chuffed. Yeah, but the music, all the power metal that's coming out, is like what I listened to when I was at school. Yeah, when I was 16, still at school. That's the music I was into. The scene is pretty. It's going mad at the moment. I don't know what's happening, but we're just playing what we want to play. We don't look at the scene and try and do something with the scene. We just carry on as Benediction. But it's getting interesting, the scene. There's also a lot of black metal bands at the moment. Maybe too many. It's like what happened with death metal a few years ago. There was so many bands. It's happening with black metal now. There's so many bands. So we'll have to see what happens with the scene.
But it'll never ever die. The worst that could happen, and this isn't really a bad thing, is it could go back underground, and it'll still be alive. It's the same with punk. Punk sort of disappeared for a little while, and it just went underground. It was still there. It'll never go, because there'll always be people wanting an aggressive form of music. Like, well, me for a start. You know? So the death metal scene will always be around, whether it's huge or underground, or if it's just, you know, sending letters through the post with tapes and stuff of demo bands, it'll still be there.
I think a part of the metal roots are lying in England. Can you explain why the supremacy nowadays is maybe in Scandinavia, in such countries?
I can't explain it, but I mean, the people say, oh, Scandinavian metal bands are really popular. Well, Cradle of Filth are English. And they're, you know, they play that style, or they have played that style. They're more gothic now, which, I mean, I really enjoy. But what Cradle of Filth do is fucking nice. It's excellent stuff. The Scandinavian stuff is good as well. I mean, it's just how popular it gets from time to time in certain areas. I mean, this power metal stuff that's coming through now. I mean, there's going to be a lot of German bands.
Yeah, that seems to be coming from Germany. Yeah. The power metal, that's where it seems to for me. It seems to be coming from Germany. Yeah. All the black metal is from up there, you know,
and all the,
from Scandinavia.
Yeah.
And
all the...
what's the trademark of England then?
Crap metal. No, I'm kidding. No, England's well, from Birmingham, where a lot of the bands come from, Napalm Death, Bolt Thrower. It's all the central area of England, the Midlands. It's an industrial town, and I think that's part of it as well. It's a dirty place, and it's got that sort of grindy, crusty sort of feel to it, and it comes out in the music, and it's the way people think. It's in their mindset. and to do stuff like that. I mean, like Napalm Death, Bolt Thrower, Benediction, Cerebral Fix, if you remember them, who Frank used to play bass for until we stole him.
Are they still alive?
No, they changed their name to Drown, and then they drowned. I think they just gave up. I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's also bands like Judas Priest, Led Zeppelin, Slade, who our manager used to be in. I just had to say that. You know, it's all these bands come from the Midlands there, and the penultimate one, Black Sabbath. You know, I mean, they virtually started the whole of this thing rolling. I mean, they did for me anyway. So it's that. I mean, I don't know why, but all I can put it down to is it being Birmingham itself as an industrial city, and it sort of sets people off in that train of thought. So it influences them with their music.
Okay, for something completely different, is there a video planned for the actual album?
Yes, there is a video planned. Okay, when it'll come out, I do not know, but we just got to wait and see. It's like a little difficult at the moment as well. There's no problems unless we cause the problems ourselves. Because I don't live in England anymore. I live in Copenhagen, in Denmark. So if ever we want to do like a video or bless you, Gesundheit and whatever. What was I saying? I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, that's it. Video. Yes, we've got a video. No, I'm living in Copenhagen, and it caused difficulties with rehearsing. Obviously, I mean we hadn't rehearsed for this tour at all. The first rehearsal we had was in Hamburg when we played the first gig, and that was quite funny. It was very comical. It's lucky I sing the way I do because I couldn't remember all the words, and I was just like trying to make sounds that sound like the lyrics. And like after the show, straight on the tour bus, put my Walkman on, like that's what it is. Oh yeah. So, you know, there'll be problems there, but we'll overcome them. We're strong enough now. We're professional enough. Ha ha. But
So which song?
Probably we have ideas for a lot of songs, but maybe Agonized as one, and maybe Shadow World if we get to do another one. I hope, but I'd like to do West of Hell because I'd really like to take the piss out of Fred West because he was such a cunt.
Yeah, your trademark were some time ago was big motorcycle boots. Where are they?
Well, I'm getting old now, and they hurt my feet, so I have to watch my feet and stuff. And also, wearing these big motorcycle boots, they weaken your ankles because they give you support on the whole of the bottom part of your leg, and it makes your ankle weak. And jumping around on stage wearing that does my feet no good. So, and also they were really heavy, and I don't wear my glasses on stage, so I'm half blind. And I end up like treading all over Rue and Darren.
Fucking does as well.
Yeah. And although I don't stand on Frank, because if I do, he'll kick me in the bollocks. And he has done that.
So why did you do it at all?
Because it was hip and trendy, and I thought I'll be different and wear motorcycle boots, even though I don't have a motorcycle. And although I've got another pair of boots on the bus, some pretty big ones. And very similar to what the guys in Covenant are wearing, but I don't wear them on stage because they are really heavy, and to sort of jump up and down on stage and that, it just like tires you out. So I wear these nice soft trainers. Plus I've got me bunions to think of and everything.
Yeah, maybe we can make some photos later with the boots. Would be great with the boots, of course. Okay, next question. Next question. Our show is. Our show is called What's Metal? What's Metal?
It's your show, isn't it? Oh, right, I see what you mean. What's metal? Well, on the periodic table there's copper, iron. No, I'm sorry. What's metal? This lifestyle is metal. I mean, there's no other feeling to wake up in a coffin with two sets of curtains next to you, thinking, where the bloody hell am I? With a hangover, and you sort of climb out of your bunk and like, oh yeah, I'm on tour. Ah, that's where we are. and what country are we in today, and stuff. But you know, that's metal. But music-wise, good grief, the list could go on forever. Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath. I've said them. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. Black Sabbath. UFO. You know, it's cunt off. It's just, you know, this lifestyle is fun, but it can be very unhealthy for you. What's metal, Roo?
Metal is from the heart. It's the true form of music for people like us, and we should all fucking metal.
Sounds like a Man of War lyric sheet, that did.
Okay. Future plans? Near future?
Near future. Band-wise, well, we got some festival dates. This is the last date of this festival tour. But tomorrow we're doing a gig in Belgium ourselves, and the day after in Copenhagen. And then on Monday we've got a gig in England, which is our first one since '95. We've got some other festival shows later in the year as well. I think the Czech Republic have a Dynamo festival this year. I think we're going to do that one. So, but that's all we know at the moment. I'm getting married again.
Second week
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not.
No, this is my third marriage.
Oh.
Yeah. And let's see, what else? What are you doing later this year, Roo? Are you going to creosote your fence?
Yeah, I might be doing a bit of gardening. I've got to do my back garden. I'm going to do a bit of landscaping in my garden. I've got to go to work a couple of times. I'll probably have a few drinks here and there.
Just a few,
but the band will be back. You know, we've been together 10 years. You know, we still enjoy it. You know, for us this tour, it was like, let's go on tour and see how it is. Yeah. But for us, it's been really good. So the band's still there. We're going to carry on, no problem. We're still out there and enjoying it. So Benediction's still alive.
Any last comments to your fans and our listeners?
Buy our album, please. Well, yeah, buy it. But you know, I hope for everyone who came to the shows on this tour, I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for coming. Thanks for proving to us and the rest of the world that death metal is not dead. And we're very proud to be a part of this growing scene, which is continually growing.